Welcome to That's Good Sports. I'm Brandon. My YouTube episodes run longer than that Monday night game between the Seahawks and 49ers. Perna. Wow. Wowzer. I really thought we were going to get a tie last night, but Seattle pulls off the upset and more importantly, contributed to a very fruitful NFL season with live TV F-bombs. I do wish players were a little more creative with their swears, though. Let's effing go is so Tom Brady. How much cooler would it have been had Chris Carson said, "I'll fuck the gold right out of your prospecting asses, San Francisco"? Or just nonsensical swearing like shit wiggle bitch balls jizz waffles. And then spike the ball. Yeah, we'll review that game, which was Russ Wilson's 28th career finish with a game winner, tying Joe Montana, football poetry. Plus, I have some NFL news to deliver and some more impressive Lamar Jackson stats. Let's get sports. Go for it. Subscribe. I dare you. I dare you to ruin your life with my stupid football videos every day. Do you care about yourself? No, you don't. Subscribe. Also, I have big dick Patreon shoutouts, and the Patreon-only video for all $5 patrons will be dropping, I believe, Thursday this week. So, patrons, you're about to be fully rewarded. Shoutouts. Ryan Reitz, Jeremy Gignac, Miami Dolphins have the longest winning streak in the AFC. Suck it. Oh, they do. Joe Evans Green. Dallas sucks. Go Birds. Skullgasm. Brandon Perna is my dad. Oh. Yox Rogers. Maybe that's Fox. Trent Staley. My dick smells like Brandon Perna. How would you know? Brady's deflated left ball. And Jams. Jams. Jump in. Packers running back Aaron Jones, now with 14 touchdowns on the season, should be considered a top player at his position, but he still has a lot to learn from his counterpart in back Jamal Williams in terms of media relations.
The run, now that the weather's turned a little bit, and you just get the feeling that this is the time of year with the weather conditions and cold, that a little bit more is going to be put on your guys' plate. No?
I kind of got confused. I ain't gonna lie to you. Halfway through your question, I stopped listening.
So the bye week has begun?
Yes, you are asking him about the weather? Are you in line at Starbucks? Thank you, Jamal. And keep your questions quick, reporters. The NFL MVP race is down to Lamar Jackson and Russell Wilson with the side of Christian McCaffrey and Deshaun Watson. So mostly Wilson or Jackson right now. Now, Russell Wilson has probably a worse defense and a worse offensive line and somehow managed a 22-1 touchdown to interception ratio heading into Monday night. That is absolutely ridiculous. But when you watch Lamar Jackson play, all you want to say is that is absolutely ridiculous. Followed by,
That's why you're a leader. That's why they love you. I love you too. That's why they love you. Yeah. That's why I love you too. I know, baby. I love the way you play too. Appreciate that. You just don't defend. You just attack. All you do is attack. Play ball. That's all I know. Yep. I watch them. That's how they play.
That's how you get people to love you, Jimmy G, not by calling them baby. How good has Lamar Jackson been in his first 16 games as a starter? Well, in terms of wins, Lamar has 13 to Patrick Mahomes' 12. Rush yards, Lamar Jackson, 1,258. LaDainian Tomlinson in the same time, 1,236. A passer rating of 94.4, better than Tom Brady's 90.1. Yards per attempt, Lamar Jackson, 7.6. Aaron Rodgers, 7.5. Completion percentage, Lamar Jackson, 63. Drew Brees, 61. I don't know if I agree with Harbaugh in that he's changed the game, but that's only because you don't find replicate talent like Jackson every year. But what he is doing is special, and it's still not good enough for Twitter. Where are the passing yards? Doesn't fit the narrative. Got it. Weak sauce. Stats with no context, made to look a certain way to fit a narrative. Is it any wonder this guy works for ESPN? What about the narrative that people believe there's always a narrative? The narrative is Lamar Jackson is fucking good at football. The narrative is he beat the Patriots, got the Ravens into the playoffs last year, and has the team with a bye in the first round of the playoffs right now. It is true, you can paint whatever story you want with stats, but just watch Jackson play. What do you mean there's no context to all of those really good stats? You're worried about passing yards? The top 3 quarterbacks in passing yards right now are Phillip Rivers, Dak Prescott, and Jameis Winston. 2 of those 3 have losing records, and Lamar has more passing touchdowns than Phillip Rivers. And I was wrong about Lamar Jackson heading into this season. A lot of people were, so just admit it. How long can he do this? We don't know, so fucking enjoy it. If you can't enjoy it, you better be a Steelers, Browns, or Bengals fan. If you can't enjoy Lamar Jackson on Sunday, I feel bad for you. Now, everyone wants to compare Lamar Jackson to Mike Vick, but I'm holding off on that because the Ravens lost to the Browns this year. Until I see Lamar beat those dogs, till I see him really just beat those dogs, I cannot compare him to Vic. The Buccaneers released former first-round pick and starting cornerback Vernon Hargreaves. Hargreaves hasn't lived up to his first-round expectations, and I feel like you have to play pretty bad to make Bruce Arians bench you. But Tampa Bay needs to do something as their defense gives up an NFL worst 31 points per game. I also think Hargreaves has enough talent to excel on a well-coached defense somewhere. The Cincinnati Bengals cut linebacker Preston Brown after less than a year into a 3-year deal. Buyer's remorse is what they call that. The Bengals defense is about as bad as Tampa Bay's, so reuse everything I just said, but for Cincy and Preston Brown. Okay, Seahawks, 49ers. Seattle beat San Francisco, giving them their first L in 2019 on Monday Night Football in the final seconds of overtime, 27-24. This was an entertaining game and a sloppy game with 7 total turnovers, 4 by Seattle. It was also an exercise in endurance. Not for the players, but for the people watching on the East Coast. What did I learn? Well, I think without George Kittle or Emmanuel Sanders, the 49ers offense can't really be carried by Jimmy Garoppolo. Kittle was out, and when Sanders left with a rib injury, the Niners couldn't move the ball consistently. Seattle took away the 49ers run game, held them to just 87 yards, so credit Seattle's defense for that. And when the game was on the line, Jimmy G had an interception dropped by Seattle, but also had to deal with his receivers dropping passes and popping them into defenders' hands like a friendly gesture of a tic-tac. If Kittle and Sanders can stay on the field together, yes, San Francisco can still beat anyone in the NFL, especially because that defense can ruin a quarterback's day in numerous ways. Seattle, the Seahawks, they're a average team elevated to being winners by elite quarterback play. Russell Wilson had one really bad play, and his running backs seem to love fumbling the way Jimmy G loves making women blush or uncomfortable on television. Jadeveon Clowney dominated in this game, and even DK Metcalf had the ball ripped from his hands. I would have never guessed a man with the last name Tart would be the guy strong enough to pry a football out of DK Metcalf's muscular arms, which do have their own set of abs. Oh, God, I want some arm abs. How do you get those arm abs, DK? Well, I know how you get them on one arm with repetitive motion, but how do you get them on both? Shaquille Griffin had an opening drive interception called back for defensive holding. Unfortunately for Seattle, the amount of time Griffin had the ball in his hands was their longest possession of the first quarter. The Seahawks starting slow is a bad trend for this team this year, as is learning Jimmy G may be trying to get his own players into bed.
I was talking to Emmanuel Sanders about his instant connection with Jimmy Garoppolo, and he said people call it chemistry.
Sanders went on to say that one reason the young receivers in San Francisco are dropping so many passes is because they accidentally lock eyes with Jimmy G on the play, something only a veteran knows not to do. Now, both defenses scored touchdowns in this game. Jadeveon Clowney had the scoop and score. He also had a forced fumble in the third, which set up that Chris Carson swearing touchdown. The 49ers, who should care more about the environment due to their proximity to San Francisco, sent a clear message to the world when DeForest Buckner scored for their defense. Come on, San Fran. Deforesting isn't just a problem for the Seahawks. It's a global issue, and of all the teams, you should know that. Now, the Niners converted the 2-point play after with a quick pass to Kendrick Bourne ultimatum. His ultimatum, 2 points. Or instead of 49ers did invent a new way to cover punts, this running start for the gunner is fucking brilliant. Where were you on that one, Belichick, you lazy old fuck? You're getting soft, old man. You're getting soft. Wait, what? The Patriots already did that against Washington? You're still old, Belichick. You're still old. Enjoy your jizz waffle tits. I did notice that sprint did not help the gunner be the first guy down the field, though. Tight end Jacob Hollister had an impressive one-handed touchdown grab. Talk about a great catch and a great throw. Russ directs traffic and then puts the ball in a place only his guy could make the play. Hollister is like a fourth-string guy now getting starting reps with Luke Wilson due to injuries and the Nick Vannett trade. And it's cool to see Hollister, the first NFL player with 2 dads, Abercrombie and Fitch, playing so well. Quandre Diggs, who is too good of a player to continue to be a member of the Lions defense, got an interception in his first game for Seattle. Another first-timer, Josh Gordon, also converted a key 3rd down on Seattle's last drive of regulation, which helped the Seahawks take a 3-point lead. Really nice to see Gordon on the field with a good quarterback, finally making multiple key catches in this game. However, KJ Wright's dropped interception and Ziggy Ansah's encroachment penalty on 3rd and 10 helped the 49ers tie this game, but Seattle didn't care because they have Geno Smith, a true secret weapon. How valuable is a guy who can make you hear both heads and tails during a coin toss?
Seattle, what's your call? Heads. Your call is heads.
Geno Smith makes the call.
It is a head. You won the toss. You want the ball. Which way you want?
Geno is so good, Richard Sherman didn't even complain that Geno didn't shake his hand. And into overtime we go. The life of a kicker is a hard one. Robbie Gould was out with an injury and Chase McLaughlin nailed a 47-yarder to send the game into overtime. But will anyone remember that? No. The only thing they're going to remember is how bad his overtime miss was. How wide was the game-winning field goal attempt for the 49ers? Well, it was so far left, even the city of San Francisco was like, shit, that kick might actually be a socialist. Russell Wilson threw his first red zone pick against the 49ers ever, and it just happened to be in overtime. Seattle wouldn't have even been in the red zone without Russ Wilson's magic, but that play will be overlooked because fuck Chase McLaughlin, right? After Chase's miss, the 49ers defense forced a 3-and-out and got their offense the ball back with 1:52 left in overtime. Do you blame Kyle Shanahan for calling 3 passes in a row, aggressively going for the win? Not when you can say, fuck Chase McLaughlin. Shaquille Griffin made the game-saving play here, nearly picking off a slightly underthrown Jimmy G pass on 3rd down. San Francisco played for the win. I actually respect that, but taking just 27 seconds off the clock gave Dangerous Wilson too much time to get the win, following a big run on 3rd and 3, allowing Jason Myers, Seattle's kicker, to be the hero, just barely making the game winner. And just like in bed, inches are the difference between this joyous celebration and getting the fuck Chase McLaughlin treatment. Don't worry, Chase, it could be worse. You could be Chase Laughlin without the MC and on your way to jail with Lori, so. Thanks for watching another episode of That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here on the tubes. If you don't subscribe on the tubes, are you really even alive? That's just the way it is. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, at Brandon Perna. You can talk football at me there. Also, I love you. I love you so much.